out of this.
What? You guys have Wi-Fi or not, you guys? Okay, since we have all met up, right? What is the watch where you think you are most well known online?
Oh,
Yeah, you get where I'm coming from? Yeah, since people still
are we recording?
yeah, of course.
Oh, recording already.
Hey, recording already.
The watch
Yeah,
most known for. I know the watch you are most known for.
yeah, correct. Okay, let's start with Dennis first lah. What watch you think you are most well known for online?
Unfortunately. Wow, this sounds very tragic. No, unfortunately,
lah.
I think most known for would be the GS.
Yes.
I think my Shumbun will be the most known for, and I've also converted a few people
The pink one,
to
right?
buy the Shumbun. Yes,
Actually, the first time I met you, it was the
Hoyer.
Hoyer, yes.
Hoyer.
I met you, it was actually the Hoyer.
The Shumbun, probably if your question is saying the most known for, I think it's the Shumbun. But it's not my favorite. But yes, it's probably my most known. I know your favorite.
Your favorite actually.
But it's a significant piece in the aspect that it's my foray into property, like we discussed before. None. Why the hell so proper?
Hey, this is not how it is on normal days. Hey,
Foray? Oh my god!
this is not a conference, guys. It's not a conference.
Sorry, because it's a recording, so what ethics kicked in.
The watch a lot. It's 36, right? Is it?
No, but I always discuss with WK. It's always been a Rolex person, right? So I think it was my first, it was my first exploration, or we cannot use, my first exploration into a non-Rolex brand. Yeah,
Actually, that was the point.
correct, because
to Rolex.
yeah, fucking the Rolex because I'm sick of, I got no more money because I'm not buying rate. So the problem is, that I say, if I were to start a piece, for me, GS is important piece because I always heard of people talking about it. I've seen it so much on Instagram, and I've actually tried a piece a year ago. I think it's called the Skyflake, which is actually very similar to the Shumbun.
Skyflake is blue.
Yes, blue. It actually looks very
Light
much
blue,
like
yeah.
my light blue. So it was the extension of the existing snowflake, the famous snowflake. They came out with the Skyflake. I like that because it was blue, but the texture is not so aggressive. I've always liked the Shumbun, but it's a US exclusive. Never have I thought, or maybe I did not do enough research, that actually Malaysia brought it in. So after some recommendation, I don't know how I found Sean at
The GS boutique.
the GS boutique, right? So I walked in there. That's even before I knew about Watch Addict. So I went in there, then we looked at it. Then he actually told me, actually there's the Shumbun. So the Shumbun, yes, I've always liked it, but I couldn't decide between the winter or the spring. So for me,
Wait, what's the difference first?
What is the grey one?
yeah, so the difference for, if I remember correctly, even I'm also a bit blur on the details now, the spring one is a full grey, like exactly how my Shimbun looks most of the time. Only on press pictures, it looks pink. Like I've shown it many times on my Instagram, it does not look pink at all. But the difference is that the second hand is basically blue.
Okay.
That's for the spring with a gold GS. I think gold with
GS
blue.
logo.
Yeah. So this one is supposed to be pink, without the blue color hand. Actually, I quite like the blue second hand. Yeah.
It's quite funny talking about his most well-known watch, the one to bring a new watch.
Because the brief was around.
He always complain that, hey, why did you buy us? Remember?
I didn't know the brief was like just show up and then we just talk about it. So I didn't bring any watches.
How about WK? What do you think your most well-known watch actually?
Actually, I don't know. I really don't know.
When you started Instagram, who's the I think Chi Hong was the first to talk to you, right?
Within our group, probably, yeah. Actually, I reached out to Chi Hong first because of it. Wow, the fellow pilot.
Actually, I didn't know until I heard, wow, pilot.
I reached out to him and said, "Are you a pilot?" Then he said, "Yes." I said, "Do you fly with Malaysia Airlines?" I said, "Yes." Then in my mind thinking, let's be friends.
That was before he was into watches.
No, he was already posting some watches.
Yeah.
I think in some ways, Chi Hong connected all of us.
Actually, that's
Because in same way, like he reached out to you.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he reached out to me or I reached out to him.
I reached out to him.
But I also pissed him off because there was some discussion about Rolex allocation at the start when we first knew each other. And then I was quite pissed because it was like, how come he got Rolex?
Oh, you that lucky, I tell you.
Then I complain. Okay, need some backstory. Cannot declare on air. But yes, you. Yes.
How you damn lucky, I tell you. Nobody buy tuber and get Rolex.
So then, but that was how we know each other. Then I think he also spoke very highly of you because he met you a couple of times.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it's quite intimidating before Windows of FQ, right?
Huh? Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Not intimidating is that I don't know him, but he, in some ways, not say resonate is the right word, but of course I'm also, because he was also into Rolex.
So I was like, I think when Chi Hao initially say, actually there's another guy in Malaysia like Chronopath, but he's damn picky collector. Like, picky? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, okay lah.
Picky, which I agree. I mean, it's a good thing to have a shield in front of you.
Oh yes, he did say you're very picky.
Because you don't know who you are meeting online with expensive watches.
Oh yeah.
So picky.
And he likes one-to-one. Unlike me, it's like full group.
That was really scary when he initially Chi Hao was like, actually, he made it sound like it was like an interview. Hey, you have to pass my interview before you can meet Chronopath. That was, really, that was his first impression, you know. Chi Hao, hey, seriously, you make us so scared at that
Yeah,
time.
but you like the big group, right? For me, the big groups, the only thing is that there's so many people because I'm quite introverted. So
Same.
So when there's such a big group, you don't really get to really talk.
So the strange part is that I'm also a lot of pre-notion is that I'm extroverted because maybe the hilalaness. But then most of the time actually I'm introverted. I like big groups because I don't really talk so much. They also start interacting with each other. Actually, I like
Actually,
to
this is a very good question.
I just like to observe, but I just find that because I think we discussed this many times over before us meeting each other, and then probably myself or yourself starting Instagram. Nobody actually talked to me about watches, so I
it was
zero lonely and like I talked to my friends. Nobody understand.
He was very aggressive initially.
Then I had
want to meet up.
I have one friend that somewhat like watches, but he's not. I know not the Cartiers. So when I actually fell into the rabbit hole of like, okay, there is Grand Seiko, another guy I always want to try. When I asked him, his first comment is like, "That's so uncle watch
For Grand Seiko.
for Grand Seiko." So
Who said that?
one of my friend, he's not really a watch friend, but he's like the normal common, not I would say common people, it's regular Joe, right? Because whenever they look at watches, they do not look at the extension of how we look at it, whether it's the movement, whether it's certain attributes of the dial and all that, right? They just look at it as design. So he says uncle. So what I'm trying to say, coming back to the conversation, is that there's nobody to talk to watches about. So he said uncle watch, then the conversation stops there. Then the rest is I just do my own research.
But actually what he says makes a lot of sense. Actually, not to brag or anything lah. Since we started, whenever we are doing, people start to get very connected.
No, I think the community aspect of it is more acceptable, right? Because we started reaching out, or at least I reached out to you first, then Chiong connected us with you, and then we were saying, let's meet up. So I think there's always this chance. And for me, because in some way I'm still very young in my collecting journey, so I think for me, creating watch meetups was a good chance to, number one, experience the pieces that I cannot buy or want to buy. And number two, I get to meet a lot more people faster, just to understand their collecting journey as I try to refine mine.
Actually, a very nice thing is like everybody is very accepting to big groups or small groups. There isn't a
I prefer small.
Yeah. So I mean,
100% I would say, small groups are better in control and all. But what I mean is, if any of us isn't invited to a gathering, there's no hard feelings one. Because I know there's some collectors like, hey, why the
I will point them to be drama queen.
why you never invite me?
But actually, groups are very
We got no time for us when you got time for other groups. How?
you're married already, don't like that, I tell you.
Talking along.
It's like this podcast is just to
Shit on Gio.
It's not here, my
First episode.
he confirmed wants to come for the second episode ready to defend himself. But it's nice actually. I like the big one which Dennis did in TBX. That one was very tiring.
Yeah, but actually there were quite a few people. Actually, I don't plan one. My thing is just that maybe because also I've never understand the culture of having small groups. Because whatever I've seen online is like red bar, all this sport. Yeah, correct, right? So to me, it's organizing 10 people is small because I've seen the Red Bar events and I'm also talking to Biaoris on Taiwanese Red Bar founder, right? So we were talking also, and to me, it's like that normal. So when you all started saying, there's too many people. Actually,
I was the one who was saying it.
I mean, you were one of them. So then I also try to look at the aspect of WK. That actually is true, right? So some conversations are to be have like just a few of us, then it's better. But sometimes it's like Chinese reunion dinner. I don't know. It's just like having everybody. It's good to meet up with everyone because sometimes it's very hard to meet the schedules.
Yeah, I think the benefit of having a big group is that you get to see them a lot of watches.
Correct.
Right? But for me, I'm more interested in the convo than the watches. You know, I mean, not to say I'm not interested in the watches, but I would rather like if there's only 3 or 4 people, but I get to hear what that one person thinks about that one watch, even if he only came with one watch. You know, I'm more interested to hear like his own personal experience with the watch, what he likes, what he doesn't like, why he bought that one and not something else, and you know. And I think in a big group, it's very hard to do that.
Correct. But
Because there's so many people, right? And I would feel that in a big group, can walk away and actually I still don't know that guy.
For sure.
but actually,
I said him, but I don't know him.
observation of so maybe the observation of mine and maybe a notion is that number one is like so understand the point. The other thing is I see is like some people say okay, it's big, but I notice like when it starts to be 8 or 10 people have a tendency once wherever there's availability of seats, they sit down, they don't move really.
That's true, yeah.
I don't find that I think it's very strange because it's like actually nobody is stopping you from sitting there, right? If you go over and you can see the thing, actually it's for you to move around. But I just noticed many times over in any of the groups, everyone just sits where they are. From the start to the end, they just sit there.
Yeah,
It's a good point, like you say, small groups, right? It's less about the watches. And this is a very good example. Like this Latin guy didn't even bring anything, We're supposed to do a one podcast. But he didn't bring anything. So I think it's true, to a certain degree when you have become, well, not just web friends, but real friends,
Correct. So that's the other point I want to make, right? At some point, like after meeting you so many times, unless there is a new watch in the collection, most of the time it's just talking cock up.
Correct.
Because we're the best part.
That's the best
we
part.
have seen each other's collection many times over. We have seen the pieces that we wanted to see. So actually coming out is easier, right? Because but the good part is we're like, I don't need to bring my watch and I just bring what was you're interested. Okay, this you've seen it many times, right?
I think this is the nice thing that we don't even ask each other hey, then you go with him, what invest about? No, it's not even talking about watches anymore.
Catching up.
You ask me, so what you guys talk about? I say, nothing about watches. Just talk about your holiday, just talk about your dive trip. It's around there.
I think that's better, But anyway, I to answer the question, I don't know. I don't know what is the so-called signature Jiu Hai watch. I don't know. Maybe you all can tell me what you associate me with. Which
If you're
watch?
talking about now, I think the Hoyer is quite the associated watch.
The Hoyer, because we know James, Woody has it. So I've associated that with him. I've seen it before.
I also associate that with it.
So that's just
between
our
you guys,
thing because But for
second
me, with him is actually the Coke. Because for me, I see her as because we have the same model to some extent, but by and large it's different, right? Different year, and then the aging is a little bit different. So that's the nice part, right?
Actually, if you never say, right, actually WK is a very Rolex heavy
At the
collection.
start, a bit at the start.
Even if you include all its 5-digit stuff, he still has a lot.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, and I've sold some already. So I think like at one point it was too Rolex heavy. So then there's
The Basculin actually.
that's
Locally in
it.
Malaysia, I think if you
Correct.
talk about the Basculin in the 2390 reference, it's him already.
Correct. Because for me, it would be the Coke first and then the Basculin second.
Because he likes to put it on very bright straps, especially the orange one.
And then now recently it's this piece, not the GLC.
Actually, it's nice, this one, actually.
The reversal. Then after I've seen you have it, and after also the other things, I see algorithm wise constantly being shown this algorithm many times over.
Actually, it's nice, it's very nice. Any regrets?
not at all.
Not really.
Not at all.
Has it been a month?
I think but I mean I haven't spent as much time as 1 month with it lah because I was away. So
I always told you, you can always take care of your watches. You can just spread it out among us. You'll be more than happy.
yes. But it also works both ways.
Yes, I'm sure.
Funny story is, I can't believe this is mixed.
Yeah,
Even until today, I still cannot believe this is mixed watch.
So,
Anyway,
like you said, the community is very, very small.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I don't know, we
And it
want to
was-
share the story.
And
Everyone knows.
And it was a last minute thing to invite Nick for lunch that day. And you were also on the fence, like,
Yes.
should I go for lunch or not?
Yes.
Actually, for people who didn't know that, WK actually bought the reversal and
From a dealer.
yeah, from the dealer.
Penang.
Yeah.
Who bought it from?
Oh, even
He bought it from an end user in Penang, and the end user in Penang bought it from Nick,
Yeah.
who is
And now-
Cartier watch that.
And now this watch is in his
Yeah, and it was like when we were having lunch,
Yeah.
Nick was saying like, "Hey, I sold like that's the same
The start of it, right? Yeah.
I didn't believe it when you said that.
Yeah.
I was like, I think you're talking about another piece. Right?
Well, and we all thought, including him, he also thought we were talking about another piece. Right? He said like, yeah, I sold a piece to Penang. That was like,
I still remember the lunch, yeah.
Yeah, so I say, imagine if everybody hesitated and nobody wanted to have lunch, you wouldn't even know that this is.
yeah, and luckily he still had a photo of the warranty card.
But I think it would make you felt safer because it was also a dealer that you haven't dealt with before. If you knew it was Nick's watch, you'd be like, let's just do this, right?
That was a reputable dealer as well. Right?
Yeah, like, he's the OG, one of the OG dealers.
Also a lot of
But I
nice
think that when you
watches.
got watch,
One day we should get him on the podcast to showcase.
Yeah, I think we should try and get like dealers and all that.
I think Shafiq is a good idea actually.
Because I think there are a lot of different perspectives that,
Correct.
that are not talked about.
I think it's like
For you, I think it's the tonal.
Yes,
right.
for me it's the same.
Right?
Actually,
That's
this
your
is the first watch.
Because it's the first watch I met him with.
Correct.
That
And-
time when I met him, it's actually his new watch. He just collected the
I
watch.
think I collected it only like 3 days. Then we
really?
at the gathering. Yeah, that's right. I remember.
No, before.
I met him
Before that.
in Coffee Academics. Is it?
Yeah, because again, Chihong, some coffee
Yeah.
connoisseur. So we met there, some atas coffee
Yeah.
shop. So we met there.
I think that was the. I remember when I passed Dennis the watch, I said, "Hey, hear the winding." Because when I got the watch,
No, actually, when I first
was the-
met you, I think the first word that I remember you was that you showed us a watch and say, go ahead and molest. It's the first time I've ever associated the word molest
with a watch.
with a watch.
Yeah,
That's the first time.
The first time I heard in the story also, a lot of people like,
Hey, look,
why do you say that?
Actually, it's a very sensitive watch. You know, so I'll reply you guys to serve and Shames molest.
But that's the first time I actually heard it. I was like, what is this guy on? Okay, fine.
Thankfully, he continue to meet us. Yeah, I think this is
So now he's the master molester.
and the video cannot.
Like YouTube for
Yeah, I think a tonal is the one for me. Like I think this is the one where.
And a strange thing is that I feel once I've seen it with him, I can't see with other people. and for me, no offense to myself or of Cartier, right? And when I first saw it, I thought it's a very feminine watch. But then whenever I see it on your wrist, I just think you can put it off there. Every time I've tried to put it on my own wrist.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
it looks very
I
good.
can't. So yeah. So thankfully,
It was a very funny story.
it saved me a lot of money. Not by this.
But I got this. There's a lot of watches in Cartier that they don't really put it out on display first. So actually, I went to visit Alicia in Gardens. There we had a chit chat, but I didn't know about this watch until me and my wife went back. Then she did a video. Sent a video over about this watch and said we actually have Tonu lying around the boutique. Do you want to consider it? Then I show LG lor. Then LG said, "Oh, this is the nicest watch he has ever seen." Then he bought it lah. Can laugh one lah.
Those they cannot see. That's why.
It looks good on WK as well actually. I think you can really put it
You know, it looks good on people when it's not you. When other people look at it, they say like, "Hey, nice one."
I'm so warm with your watch. Give me fever. It's like so warm.
I'm hot.
Like it's on your wrist, I think it's very nice. On Danny's wrist, I think a bit too good.
Yeah.
But I remember I met him just last week. He said he's not a fan of the new strap. He prefer the old one.
I think the burgundy.
I think this one also.
The burgundy is.
Yeah, this is nicer, right?
I think
It is Cartier burgundy.
So again, you see, it's always
because this is pink gold, right?
Correct. This
So
is
the warmth really comes out, lah. I think.
Jay, is there a difference between pink gold and rose gold? Which one is the correct term, actually?
I've not endowed with gold enough to answer this question, but I think the one I always hear is rose gold.
Yeah.
I think I very seldom hear
The
people
reason
say pink gold.
The first time I hear pink gold was when iPhone released the rose gold, but they call it the pink gold. After that day onwards, I think people started calling it the pink gold.
But I think every manufacturer also, let's say they use the same term, rose gold. They all have different formulation.
For sure.
Even like Rolex, right?
Yeah.
Not to talk about Rolex again, but the Rolex itself, they have
they
their
have
own
tonality.
even their own stainless steel and everything. It's
Especially
like-
the root beers, the full gold.
I think it's anything to get more money out of us. Yeah, then they'll just name it as a brand. Then you'll say, yes, this is
But I mean, like pink gold, rose gold, red gold, they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just different formulation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is your signature because I don't think any of us can pull it off.
Oh, thank you for the.
Right?
I-
So it's like, that's why it's a signature. lah,
Alright.
for you, because
I love it. I love it.
you put it on and it's like,
So if we discussed about this earlier briefers, we would have all brought out signature pieces.
Hey, don't blame us, man. Don't blame us. CWK brought so much after his
I
watches.
I didn't bring the basket. lah. I didn't bring the coat.
Okay, then.
This is how Chin Chai our.
Sorry for not telling you guys what watches to bring.
The
around.
reason why I brought these four is because they are the ones I've been wearing
Oh,
ever since I came back
okay.
from the dive
Since you
trip.
came back from a dive trip.
Yeah, because they're all a little bit. So like this one is the one I've been wearing the most. This one when I'm washing dive gear, I'm wearing this one.
So when WK is talking about wearing is this piece.
This piece, yeah.
Yeah. This is one I've been wearing the most. This one when I've been like washing dive gear and all that. And then these two are like to try and get back into it. Right, because
Have you been trying? Most importantly.
yeah, I have to try. Because these two are still pretty sporty, right? So like this one is small and it looks a bit like
Yeah,
a dress chronograph, but then
Correct.
it's got some
This is still my,
some angularity.
yeah.
to
This
it.
is still a favorite for me.
So I mean, talking about signatures and cover all three. I mean, just going to another question, right? At least for myself, is
Yep.
that if we had to pick one watch from each of our collections, which one would you pick? Like, maybe you start first.
Wow.
Whoa.
From you and from
I don't agree. For you.
I don't know what I want from you.
I know what you want from me.
I know you don't know you want anything but
I
that.
I will go for realistic one watch.
Yeah, just one from our collection. Like for me, okay, if you want to think about it,
Okay.
for me from WK one, I mean the one I'm eyeing for, I don't know whether you know, is the Kermit.
Oh, okay.
Because I told him I remember on the side also we collect we talked about it, and I also collect aside from all these watches I also collect toys. So I think one of these is Lego. So actually I bought
Still waiting for
the Sesame Street coming and Frog because I'm waiting for one day when I actually would buy.
You know it's gonna
Yeah,
one day.
and before I told you this, right? And I told you this, right? I was like, before I bought the no date on the Chinese New Year Eve, which is actually only this year,
Correct.
I actually wanted to buy a Starbucks.
Oh,
But my friend's shop was closed, which we thought Swiss Connection was closed. So I didn't have a chance to buy it. And I always wanted something green because to me it's like your Cartier, this Cartier color, green is Rolex color, right? So and nobody makes green as nice as Rolex in my own opinion.
Especially the Kermit green.
Yeah.
Excuse me, hello.
Correct. So that's why I wanted that so I can, kind of
Hey, that's-
complete my 5-digit.
quite a good one, a good one.
That's my personal one from him. I think from you is actually the Chinois.
Oh,
I think in reverse to for
yeah.
this,
Sorry, if you can't get this,
I tried the Chinois on my hand. I think it fits me perfectly.
fits you perfectly.
Yeah, for you also.
I think that's I think for you that's Mr. Chimo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's quite a.
I think the Chinois, we discussed this, right? There's the Chinois with the, I don't know whether
Yeah,
how much can the camera see, but I forgot
just
the
nice.
white
Just nice.
angle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Chinois and the green
Green
color
strap is
strap,
different,
I think
yeah.
is amazing
Actually, I had
pairing.
a lot of conversations with a lot of
Yeah.
people where they said,
And- yeah.
whatever new Cartier I'm gonna get, they can only imagine it in green straps.
Yeah.
But I knew that.
But incidentally, also MS made one. No, yeah. So Shafiq also made me one green for my GS blue. The GS blue. I think that. So I think we have a note. I made some lucky for green stripes.
I think if for me, from you, I would like the OP.
Yeah.
The one which is lost. As now.
Yeah, that's the one that I would think from you.
Right.
And from you is also the shit one.
I think for WK, I would get I like his Daytona a lot actually. Yeah, I'll go for the Daytona for sure.
The Daytona I still can get outside. The Kermit for me a bit hard. And no, I can get. But I rather like you, right? Get the reversal from Nick, knowing that it's from Nick's watch. There's some level of trust, there's some level of I know that he will take care of his watch.
I think I like
better than I buy outside because I don't know what happens outside.
Correct. Maybe once I've seen your Daytona, that I wouldn't want so badly.
You haven't seen it, man? Oh,
Actually, for me, I noticed.
we need to fix that.
But the Kermit is also good. I wasn't.
Daytona for me is like Swiss connection. We all know Derek, right? So Derek's, I see one of the dealers like Derek's one creamed out already because of the aging. Is cream, zenith movement.
Oh, so
Against the red, it's like amazing. To me, that is like my favorite Daytona.
I would say the Coke as well. Yeah. Either from one of you guys. One day I can do a watch.
I think he's better, though. Okay, maybe. So actually, what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Well, why actually? I think
Folk start first.
it's more to look how casual this thing is, and how real fresh. No, just kidding. It's really how casual we can actually be, and how people can be more inviting to be willing to meet up for this such a small community. You don't need to have all the bloody expensive watches to even meet up. No, I think that's what's nice about the MYwatchKaki page is you are seeing all the G-Shocks, the Orleans, the Longines, and most of them are only like $300 to $400, rather than sometimes I feel bad to be honest, doing daily posts, and I wouldn't want the feed to be flooded with Cartier stuff. I think this is something why.
But everyone knows you for Cartiers.
Yeah, that's why I say now I don't want the second page to become Cartier heavy again. Sometimes Nick contributes also daily. If I'm doing daily,
I think like it's hard for you, right? Because your collection is mostly Cartier.
Correct.
So if you're going to post a watch, 90% chance it will be a Cartier.
Yeah.
Unless you don't post it.
Yeah, unless I don't post it.
So it's a bit hard lah.
But for us, we discussed, right? I think each and every one of the pages, whether it's our personal collection or what, has different like following, right?
curates to a
so it's curated to based on. So people that follow you actually would not be bored of seeing Cartiers every day because there will be a part
They
of.
follow you because
It's part of the collecting. It's because of the wearing experience, because of many other things, right? So they want to see actually what is the personal experience that
Just
you have.
at least we are all very.
Just sluts lah.
Yeah, you guys are sluts. You guys are watch sluts, which is good for the page out, which is very good to the page out. Since you're on the page, right? We have asked.
I think maybe we just go into the question.
And yeah,
Because I think you asked for questions, right? But I think coming back, do you want to say anything else before we study the podcast?
No, I just want to say this is a damn nice. And I think
Maybe you should show what the young talking
I
about.
think you like the watch because it's very cheap.
No, that's me. I know what's the price. Not like
Okay, come on. Why? Okay, question one. I don't know who submitted this, but quintessential Apec watch.
Oh,
Apec is uncle, by the way, for foreign viewers.
we got foreign viewers.
For sure. What's the
I think like nobody will
quintessential
order to
Apec
watch.
watch? Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
I think for me it's
Actually,
good.
Okay,
We asked
when
that
you're
question.
70, when you're 70,
When
when you're 70,
Hey, I'm not that far away from 70. So
when 70 is
modern, neo vintage.
yeah, for 20 years later. Once you're up at 20 years later, what's the quintessential one for you?
I think for me, quintessential Apec watch, whether at any age,
Yeah.
is
I
a
think-
vintage Rolex date.
Same.
They just
And it must be in gold.
There must be
So
some.
for me, the upper one is either you go semi-gold or full gold.
There must be some goals of well, either it's a two-tone or it's all steel, but then your dial is champagne.
Yeah. As long as you go, then your coffee will come even faster because they respect you. There's some level of respect with it.
I think this is what we had in conversation with Chi Hong. I think like a day date on bracelet.
Yeah.
They did to me no appeal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Not
Yeah, but it has to be on bracelet.
But like I shared before, right? Like my big boss always say that if you buy a DD, that means you have made it. Then only you can basically have the rights to wear a DD.
Also, you elevate above the upper already.
I don't know. That's what he said to me because
You're upper.
yeah.
Actually, I did just with the two-tone, the very old yellow gold.
Yeah.
The very old yellow gold is that up here, right?
With a
Yeah. So there's also gold is just one thing, right? Like what you point out, saggy is one, and to me, you must hang off the wrist
Correct, but
on one side. Yeah.
Very too loose.
yeah, wear thin ones.
So to me, upper
Correct.
watch to his question, he has to be gold, saggy, and loose. Sounds very wrong on many levels, but it's
Regardless
true,
of the
right?
brand, yeah, that's true. That's a very good. That's a very good.
We got a lot of questions.
Yes. Okay. A simple one. Do you guys have any lucky watch and why?
Maybe who is you want to name who asked that?
You write down the questions here.
I can see. So it's
Yeah,
actually
sure.
from Malaysia.
Alicia, come on, we're gonna answer your question now. Dennis, you can start first. Do you have a lucky watch? Or if it's me, I think if you're talking about lucky watch, I think ever since I got the Tono, right, I've been spending quite a lot of money on getting good allocations. In terms of luck from watch allocations, yeah, the Tono is a very good one.
Watch this.
Hey, but you know, it does.
His name is there. One of the top.
Oh, hey.
So if you want to sponsor any of us?
This is not sponsored, but no, it's lucky in the sense that it got us all together as well. If I didn't really went so deep into the brand, I think I wouldn't have even reached out on Instagram. The reason I created was I think when I got the watch, that's when I started my IG.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah. When you got this watch,
when I got this watch,
is when you started.
correct. Only
Wow. So your following is quite big, right?
and
so that means
for the period lah.
Yeah.
in a very short
It
amount
was
of
a
time.
very short period of time.
After the Tono and then after the Chinois, he's
Yeah.
following like double because he went like full. But when I attracted to his
I need to
profile,
buy a Tondo and it says I want to grow my following.
Malaysia, hey, John, question.
Privé coming up.
Not only the allocation but 50% discount.
What's the boutique exclusive? Yeah, I think that's I think this is the one. How about you? Do you have one lucky watch? Linked to family or because I know you don't put sentimental values into.
Yeah, I think like I'm a very sentimental person. Like
Yeah.
I think all the things you all heard about me and my daughter, all that you will know, right? But with watches, I don't feel that sentiment.
Yeah, and I think you're the only person that told us, at least told me, or us, right, is that there's no point having a story towards a watch, right? Because we're talking about it.
I mean, you can have a story,
But it does not mean that
it doesn't.
When you sell the watch, you still have the memories.
Yeah.
So I think that one.
So I think that was the only one because you like putting these all the publishings of the watch community. So like, there's always memories associated with it. But then yeah,
I mean,
unless it's given to you.
I think for me, it's like because of age, like because of how long I've had contact. I won't say like I've been a watch geek for very long. It's only the last few years, right? But I've had contact with watches for so long. So I learned already that actually we just kid ourselves. I feel like
correct. And like we also say, like, we always try to find excuses to buy the next watch.
And like we will remember these moments even without the watch. I mean, for me, maybe soon I will forget lah because Alzheimer's going
Hey, touch wood lah. Hey, don't say touch wood.
dementia and all that not very far away. So then we shall see that. But yeah, I don't think like I have a lucky watch.
I probably won't remember the watch, but I remember how much I paid for it. It's expensive, right? That's all
You remember the pain, right? Yeah. You always remember the emotion, not the object.
I also don't have any lucky.
No lah.
Yeah, I don't
watch
have.
Sure. Double checking No lucky watch Next one. Wow, this is a very long question You see who is it A different watch every day for a week or just 3 watches to rotate?
Oh, yeah, I'm very clear.
Watch
what
every
I-
day for a week.
So this one is from Imran. right?
Yeah.
I think Imran answers question. Okay, so maybe I'll go first. This one I have an answer. So I think for me, like what I mentioned to you before, actually Monday to Friday when I'm back in office, I only basically wear like non-branded or either hard to see the brands, like aiming for the Casios, for the Seikos, because I don't want to have any wrong intention or wrong prospect like about me, right? So I think the easiest thing to pull off, and I don't want to say, you know, hey, look at me or what. I just want to wear the Seikos and all my vintage watches. So I think if you have seen my personal collection, it varies from vintage all the way to modern.
Yep.
So, and that way, I personally feel it gives me a good rotation because Monday to Fridays is the vintages and the other Seikos, and Saturday and Saturday and weekends, right? And then you wear the pieces that are a little bit more modern, right?
Yeah.
So that way, also it makes you feel like it's the weekend as opposed to weekday.
But even your vintage stuff, it's very nice also, ma.
Mainly Seikos, I think a lot of Seikos, a lot of vintage Seikos.
I like your Zenith, your vintage.
That's also probably my favorite.
This is also
Yes, the F91 that WK is referring to, I think is also a very nice watch. It's awesome.
Okay, can you hear?
It's the Osama bin Laden and President Obama watch at the same time.
Serious?
Yes. Yeah. So if you go online and Google the Casio F91, there is a backstory of how suicide bombers build the timer for.
This is a watch.
yes.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
And we all know that actually Dennis is a terrorist.
Yes. When it comes to watches.
He's trying to flag the video, man. Like,
We've got a lot of keywords that are wrong.
well, that's not terrorist. No, don't say it.
But no, but in order for it to become a problem, you have to first have people watching.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So that's true as well.
Because you're recording it and expecting 0 views. 1 view is better than
I mean, like maybe in about 2 years when we have 2 subscribers, then it may be.
Then it's
5 around here.
okay. This is very easy. I think this is very simple for everybody. For you guys, what is life to you all without watches? Actually, it's not so
Okay, this is a difficult one to answer. Yeah. We all go.
watches. Yeah.
Actually, that's not you jump. I answered one during, but then we never answer like all.
Ayo, to me,
Sorry.
week or
It's the first time we're doing it. So
it's a very complicated question. 3 to rotate. I think same reason as you. We are not gonna wear the good one to work. Yeah, 3 to rotate for sure.
For me, it's like one every day.
One every day.
Change all the times. I want the variety. I want to be able to decide at any moment. Hey, I feel like wearing that watch. Dig it up. Wear.
when do you feel, because I feel this now, even when I rotate, I do not have one that I actually can create memories with because I'm constantly changing the watches. And when I want to go and do something epic, then I also have like analysis paralysis, right? That's its first world problems is that I actually don't know which one to bring for my adventure.
Yeah. No, I don't have that problem because like I don't see stock watches as a storage device for memories.
Yeah, memory is
My memory, you know, like
So that's the very different thing to me lah.
Yeah.
That's the very different thing lah. Okay, we go to the difficult one. What is life to you all without watches? Chewing.
you know, without watches.
So it's thank you for
Yeah. Take fast wife.
Take fast why.
Oh, that counts, why? Oh,
Yeah.
she need to be respectful.
And then this language, take fast one.
Make a break. Make a break. If you guys give a crappy answer, like fuck, I don't buy watches forever already.
It's your life without watches.
Cannot tell time lah.
What is your life without?
I think I'm okay actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I think without one thing, I still have to cut off everything, right? I think I'm okay.
Like I can't say I'm not okay because my page is called KD Jaw. So if I don't have watches,
I think I'm okay.
KD Jaw, yeah. True, that's true.
Yeah. I think for you it's okay. It's okay, right?
Actually, if you ask me 3 weeks ago, I would say life without watches, how can? Cannot.
But after you've gone on your sabbatical,
After I went on that trip, which I didn't actually wear a watch, I only wore an Apple Watch at night when I sleep just to track how many hours, so I know the next day when I dive, how I feel, I know it's because of sleep or whatever. After that, I didn't want to wear a watch. I like the idea of not having something on my wrist. So like now I'm scared.
Oh,
So now I'm like not sure, you know.
not
Like,
sure about this anymore.
yeah, but I think it's just a phase lah. But Now you ask me versus 3 weeks ago, I think I've got a different answer. 3 weeks ago, I would say no way. I will always wear a watch.
Yeah.
Now you ask me, I'm like, maybe.
After experiencing it, right? For me, it's hard also because it's like I've always had watches. I mean, ever since young, right? So having without a watch, I think I will change my behavior looking down my wrist.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
So okay, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We didn't do bad.
You okay, right?
You
You okay?
The Cowboys, these are watches.
Okay, this is okay. Would you guys under declare your purchase to your significant others?
Denson's wife.
Would you guys?
I think it depends on whether your wife is Minister of Home Affairs or Minister of Finance.
Would you guys?
If your wife is Minister of Finance and you try and under declare, eventually the audit will redeem you.
Yeah. Everyone have joint accounts. Why do you have joint account? I don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could join account.
No.
If your wife is Minister of Home Affairs and if by telling a white lie
Get you
would make everybody happier, and then I would say, yeah, do it.
To not ruin any marriages.
Yeah.
Life will be better.
Okay, everything very hard.
Sorry.
Married 4 years and above, don't need to under declare. 4 years and below.
She's the one asking what you need to declare in the questions.
Okay, I'm still gonna continue.
You're gonna answer the question.
I'm still gonna under declare. You have to, because some prices don't make sense. Some of the watch prices just isn't logical for your significant other to understand.
Yeah.
So you still have to under declare.
I think Denson's wife said angry. So please don't look at Corona before because pricing is increased by 20%. Every
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Dennis?
For me, I think I've reached a saturation point where my wife don't even ask me how much I know because she said ever since we started dating to the time we married, which is not long.
Married the photo
Apparently, just me.
Apparently, yeah.
Say that I'm not married, but yes, I am. Unfortunately, sorry, wife. But yeah, I think she stopped asking, and she said that no point asking because every time I tell her one thing, and then the next one I have another next watch I want.
That's true.
So it's never ending.
You can vote for that.
Yes.
Right? Okay, what's next? Okay, who's this one? Which watch would you choose for hanging out at mama late at night?
Hey, this one I also saw.
Yeah.
Oh, this that
This is why you need variety.
Correct.
yeah. Then you don't have this problem.
The G-Shock is nice, right?
I would wear a G-Shock.
Yeah. Or my Casio F91, or even your
Where am I?
your moon swatch.
Broken moon swatch.
Your broken moon swatch.
The moon swatch people will want to steal it off you.
I lost it on the plane, I think. Anyway, I was carrying dinner, then suddenly it just dropped off.
Yeah. Mama, I think because it's constantly Malaysian Mama is like, okay, so Malaysian Mama, I don't need to explain.
Depends whether it's atas baba.
Yeah. And I think now it's safer because those days we were snatching handbags and all, but these days not many, thank God. So,
Scared fighting lah. No, just scared.
but for us, I think, yeah.
Yeah, something simple, not too expensive. Don't play around. And last one.
I'll probably wear one of my G-Shocks.
Yeah.
Hey, last.
Last one, yeah. Our favorite, Steven.
No, there is a two. There's the idiot with the watch. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's not.
What do you
That
know?
is not insulting.
It's remember
That's the user.
What's the idiot the watch?
this would be so interesting again because
Correct, that's the one, right?
no, which was okay. So sorry, that one was just now, but yeah, the mama question was idiot with the watch. Not
Okay.
insulting again. One by JF. He has a question here also asking, what is the best place to talk cock sing song?
Oh,
Talk
yeah.
about watches.
Anywhere with a big window, so you get natural light. Soft natural.
Which is half and half.
Yeah, half and half full is the best. Honestly,
Half and half full, I think for conversations, right? So half and half full is the SS2 hub. I also have to plug the Consumer Boy, TBX. I think TBX.
T-Bags, yeah.
TBX is very good. There were some really good pictures of TBX. The last time we were there, all three of us. You and
that
Matt.
is good.
Kota is good.
Yeah. Kota is also good
Yeah,
because
because
it's got.
now they move already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they move.
Oh, maybe then. Yeah, so Kota was a place that we used to go. They have good overhead lights that's very
Very
This one
soft.
is Kota.
in Damansara Heights.
Yeah, it's like a okay lah. I'll plug them lah. They make their own ricotta cheese,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? And so everything they serve is with ricotta cheese. Not everything lah. Most of what they serve is with ricotta cheese, and it's excellent.
Pulled pork, pulled beef.
Yeah, they got pulled beef, they got salmon, they got whatever lah on sourdough with ricotta cheese, homemade ricotta cheese. The coffee is good, and they have this big window at the back, and then
Overhead lights.
soft overhead lights.
That's before the news lah.
Yeah. So no matter which angle you take, number one, there won't be reflections much. Number two, very consistent lighting contrast. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So these kind of things you will appreciate because we take pictures quite often. So
But that's not the question though, because he's asking where's the best place to talk of sing song, not where's the best place for you to
This
take pictures.
Dennis can answer that. Talk of Singapore.
Yeah.
to be honest,
We defer to the.
no. To be honest, I try to find so many places. It's quite hard to find a good place to knock out things on.
I find that most places are too noisy.
Yeah.
That is very hard to talk
It's either too noisy, tables too close,
Yeah.
confined spaces, then people start overlooking at what you're... Because it's very, very weird to see a bunch of guys huddling and then looking over watches. And because sometimes also it attracts attention, whether it's for the right or wrong reasons. So I think finding some place that is quite good with security and also quiet is quite hard.
Yeah.
And also timing, right? Because everyone has a different schedule.
Correct.
So sometimes if you go very early, people might not make it. Too late, the place might close. So, so Jordan, if you have a place, please recommend. Because we are also
Yeah, we are looking for more places as
of
well.
all places.
Yeah, all the time.
3 p.m. ready. Last question. By Steven, last question.
Now this one you have every right to answer.
Okay.
Wait, you have to leave, right? Because you have to pretend to work, right?
Yeah, pretend to work. Okay. Last question. Okay, guide in getting a Cartier crash.
To getting a Cartier crash.
This one is
That's
out of our
yeah.
jurisdiction.
I mean, there's no guide, but you can't get it. Auction. Auction is the most best way, you know. Auction is the
Yeah.
best way to get it. Realistically, we're talking about very realistic situation, you know.
So basically, you need to have a shit ton of money.
Alright, have a shit ton of money.
Whether you buy it in the auction or whether you build such a big history.
I would say
With
go
Cartier.
auction, you know. As a
Yeah.
guy who spends in boutique, get it through auction.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's
TikToking has enough money to buy it through auction. So, the best.
We're closing already, right, for today?
okay. Yep.
Pretty
For
much.
today's trial run.
Episode
It was a trial run. Okay, that's a good way to put it. So basically, every time we get together, we will just do this.
yeah.
We will just randomly talk. I never like.
Let's start.
If this version is going live,
Yeah.
It-
This lah.
because
I have to cut away the first 2 minutes.
because I say if is because we started recording without even I knowing about it.
I should cut away the
Actually, you told us we were recording.
the first 2 minutes.
Number two, we have been recording for almost an hour because I'm facing a clock.
15 minutes.
I don't even know whether that's recording.
is-
The
it is.
audio can be heard.
Should be.
That's why I say the keyword should be.
Okay,
All this may not be even like true. Yeah.
This could be the first and last episode.
That's also true.
And the third thing is he's doing the editing.
Yeah.
Thank God. So I know how
Okay, that means it may not happen.
what happened.
Alright, I'll
So
try
you
my
just
best.
see
I'll try my best to squeeze it out.
worst come to worst, you just see a Instagram reel or video with no sound and the caption.
Yeah, and that would be very us.
Actually, it's a good idea that we have the full version and we have some cut down version of the.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do it, then
Yeah, show it on YouTube first.
So to be on record, WK and I we have expressed that we do not have time because we actually have to work.
I was like,
I'm working on my
I
life.
have to work.
I actually have to work to pay for my watches.
But
So that's it. He has somewhat raised his hand and say he'll do the editing. So yeah.
okay, it's gonna be a very chin chai episode, like how chin chai this is. I mean, obviously,
So obviously,
Let's wait it out.
guys, if you look at it, you have comments.
yeah.
Let's
Let us know.
We know those people that actually view the content, our content,
Yeah.
and not say anything. But then, so if you have comments, please put it in
I
type.
know people who are watching this. It's damn official, man.
I cannot tahan them.
It's not like this in gatherings. What the hell? It's happening.
Office mode.
Okay.